Good morning. It's morning where I am. Um, it's a sunny spring morning, 44 degrees and sunny in Minnesota this morning. Welcome. Today we are going to do a few things. We are going to place a bottom in this box. We are going to learn how to cover some boards. And I don't know what else we're going to get to today. We'll see. Okay, first things first, I have a few tools laid out here, and I just wanted to talk about tools for a second. I have two different sizes of glue brush. They are both made of I don't know, it says wolf hair, and I don't know if that's true, but certainly they're like bristly boar's, stiff brush boar's hair of those. I like the small ones for doing tabs and things, and I'll talk about that. I like the large one for covering larger surfaces. An X-Acto blade, a pointy-ended scissor. I have two different bone folders here. This one is made of Teflon, which I like because it resists holding on to glue and dirt. It's very good for smoothing and easy to clean. This is a bone folder, probably one you're most familiar with. Traditionally, these were made from elk bone, but today they are typically made from rendered bovine, cow or steer or whatever bones. And then today, look, I brought my micro spatula, so I don't have to use my fingers so much today. My micro spatula has a thick end, and then my favorite feature, this little bit of pointy end here. I love that. I love that pointy end for getting into the corners and stuff like that. In the frame, you also see my waste sheets, glue in a bottle, ruler, my cutting mat, and then my square majigger. So let's get started. Okay. Let's make a little room here. I'm going to put all these things off and out of the way. Today we are working on, I'm going to just move this out of the way real quick. Okay, today we are going to put a bottom in this box. Now I have cut this piece of paper. Using my ruler, I have measured inside, and this is approximately 4 by 6. So I have cut my paper just under 4 and just under 6 by about, what is that, 1/8 of an inch. So not very much, but just enough to be noticeable. That allows me to drop that paper in there with relative ease. It's going to sit in there, and you can see that contrast. There it comes out, because we need to get some glue in there. Okay, so here's our objective. We need to get glue in the bottom of the box enough to hold this piece of paper down. There are two ways we can go about this. We can put glue on the paper, but in doing so, it becomes like a floppy, sticky mess. And if you miss, you might end up getting glue all over your beautiful, pristine box that you've worked so hard on. The other way you can do it is to put the glue directly in there. This is my preferred method. And again, you risk getting glue all over your beautiful, pristine box. But what I find is that with the glue in the bottle, with kind of a squeeze top, it's a little easier to do. And I can put the glue down in a way that suits me. And then I can move it around. So I can move it around with a big brush. And I am going to like a big brush today for covering boards. But actually, I'm going to take this smaller brush because I like the smaller brush for getting in the corners. I am just, first of all, kind of getting my brush primed, getting glue all over it. Right now I'm staying well inside the fabric margin. We've got that 1/2 inch margin on the inside of our box, and I am staying well within that right now. Just to get that glue kind of where I want it to be. Judging from the amount of glue in the bottom here, I can see that I'm going to want just a little bit more. I'm going to want just a little bit more. Boop. There we are. Okay. All right, so here now I am taking the end of my brush and I am just like real gingerly and tenderly approaching the edge. You can't see that. Let me do it the other way. There we go. I'm just real gingerly and tenderly approaching the edge of the box with the tip of my brush, kind of putting it down and then pulling it back into the middle. That corner, boy oh boy, I have to, again, be real careful not to make a giant mess. I know that you can't see what I'm doing here. Let me turn that around for you. Okay, so just take your time. You know, nice thing about PVA is it doesn't dry super fast. I mean, it does set, but you know, as long as you've got a bit of a puddle, you can keep working it. Okay. I've done it. I don't know, can you see this? I've gotten glue right there below my pinky. I've gotten glue on the side of the box. And before it like sets in, I'm just gonna try to get it off. And in so doing, I have spread it all around. You know, that probably came from a stray hair off my brush. So that's why it's kind of a good idea to get that brush nice and primed, so all of your hairs are facing the same direction. All right, I gotta get a little more glue in this corner right here. Sorry if I'm covering that up for you. Doing my best. Okay. I'm gonna apply my tacky, stucco-y texture to my glue. Okay, set that on my waste sheet for right now. There it is. Okay, it's pretty good. I got a little bit right up on the edge of the box. See right there? I got a little up there. Probably because I was rushing. No good comes from rushing. I'm just going to take my spatula instead of my finger and scrape that off a little bit. There we go. This glue does dry clear, which is great. However, on darker colors like black especially, you can see the glue. You can see it on everything. Okay, so I am just really tenderly putting that piece of paper. I cut it so it just fits. And then my bone folder doesn't exactly fit in there, but I like this, let's see if you can see this, on my end of my Teflon folder, it's got this slightly angled side, and it can get down in there and press things in and down in places where my finger can't, because it's nice and square. So I like using that part of the bone folder. Okay, and that's just gonna sit in there nice and smooth. Voila. I do see a little tiny, like just the tiniest little flecks of glue, and I'm gonna just go ahead and take those out with my micro spatula because I like a really clean finish. I'm looking for air bubbles, any place where the paper is not completely adhered. This bone folder is a little bit smaller. Oh, that's nice. And I can use the flat side of that bone folder to get everywhere. Press everything down. There we go. Okay. A little glue squeezing out there. Okay. We got it. Now I'm just going to let that dry. Certainly, if you had a, you could put your box weight down in there. I would say to protect the beautiful surface, put a piece of wax paper inside and then put your weight on top, and that will keep it nice and tidy. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing.